Good evening. It's time to have a dialogue about Mr. Know-It-All. Now, we got an interesting conversation here. We're going to go ahead and hear what he has to say. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and chime in.
Anyways, trash ass sneaker. Tired of looking at J's.
I tell you, man, it's a very simple resolution to that, and that's to just stop looking at them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand.
So this is a device that allows you to make cubed eggs.
Did you know there's a device that makes eggs cubed? Take your boiled egg, put it inside this machine, press it down, throw it in some cold water to set, and then when it comes out, it's this perfect little egg cube. And when you cut it open, it looks like this.
God.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with him on that one. I mean, yeah, it look cool. I mean, I guess if you have a restaurant and you're selling something, but generally that look like one of them Facebook videos. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know how when you would go there and you would watch this whole entire video and be waiting on the plot or waiting for something to happen and nothing ever happens, and it's just you just realize you got played and just got farmed. It's like, did you just farm me? Did you just farm me for a view? That's what that video felt like. However, it's not the useful, but if you have a restaurant and you're trying to sell things that look cosmetically pleasing because people for some reason, because you dye a burger bun purple, it'll make them want to go buy it. Adam's Family Meal. You know what I'm saying? I can see how they could cash in on it though.
Is this a ROG invention? Come on, bro. When was the last time I invented something that wasn't in like the 1700s?
No, that's not true. The thing is, it will appear that way because generally what people are watching and giving views to is like Pop the Balloons, Hip Hop Atlanta, rappers, Power.
They say this is a big rich town.
They ain't your still fire. Hey, don't judge me. I never said I was innocent. I just said it's particular what people are supporting. I ain't say I was innocent. I was just saying, but I'm gonna go ahead and get back to what I was saying. Things like that. People are predominantly paying attention to celebrity style and or D-boy style or thug style culture, and they're not giving much attention to the innovation and the innovative people in our community. There's plenty of inventors. There's plenty of people who've done things, but it doesn't get the clicks, so it doesn't get publicized. Because in reality, if it got publicized and it got appreciated more versus somebody getting out of jail, yeah, got your ass. I got you. But like I was saying, people getting celebrated more coming out of jail than they are doing something great with their lives or any kind of accomplishment, whether it's academic or, landing a high paying job or doing well in a career. It's not appreciated. It's not shown. It doesn't get the clicks. So in turn, this is what happens. And like even with him, you can't really blame him for thinking that, because that's all that's been co-signed on social media. That's all that's been co-signed on the news. And ain't nobody gonna do something that don't get views. Plain and simple. But I'm gonna let him go ahead and continue.
According to what, allegedly the first light bulb was made by a black. The first washing machine was made by blacks. Peanut butter was made by blacks. What else? Oh yeah, potato chips were first created by blacks. What else?
Bro, why you give information like a 5-year-old? Like, we get it. The general conversation and consensus is what was created by black people, okay? You don't need to say by blacks on everything that you say. Potato chips were created by blacks. Ice cream was created by blacks. We know, bro. We know. That's what we're talking about. You could just list the things. Washing machine, traffic light, yada yada. You could just say it, man. Just list it off. You don't need to do. Did he say he went to college? Man, whatever, man. That's not the point. I'm gonna let him continue.
Yeah, super soakers were created by.
I'm sorry. No more. I had to do one. All right. Give me one, fool. One. All right. We back. I swear, I ain't doing nothing else. I'm done. No more plugs.
Was created by black. Traffic lights created by black. You know, I'm not denying it. But back in those days, even if you created, you had to sell it to your master counterpart anyway.
Not necessarily counterpart. It was just as far as business, there was a lot of finagling, stealing, and underhanded cuts and things like that, where they would, you know, basically steal it by law, and there was nothing that they can do about it. They couldn't sue or anything, no kind of real ramifications for them doing those types of things. And unfortunately, yeah, that did happen a lot, you know, and that stuff happened recently. You know, that really wasn't that long ago.
So if you just in the barn just working on some shit like, yeah, low in the water, I gonna get her.
Really? So they got to be singing spirituals while they're working on things? I would think it would go more into them talking to themselves about what they're building versus singing whatever, man. Whatever. I'm gonna let them continue.
You come up with a fucking, you come up with an invention. You go out there with a whole light bulb, no electricity. Man, so look what I done came up with. Like, give me that, Jackson. What the f is this?
Alright, that's accurate, but that's beside the point. Now, I'm not saying any of this happened that way or took place. They just sound like it was straight out of a Dave Chappelle skit. That's funny. That's funny. That's really funny.
It's a light bulb? Well, yes, so it is. I came up with it myself. Hey, give me that shit. Take your fucking gas back.
And it's bad because, you know, we kind of laugh about it a little bit, but it's sad, fool. That really did happen, fool. Like that's not cool. That did happen though. Like that kind of stuff right there. Of course, not exactly like that. Of course, it's a derivative of that. But yeah, man, that's unfortunately, yeah, that took place. That definitely took place.
That's basically how it went. It was also known that the Euro masters loved the way blacks fried chicken.
Ah, here you go. Should have known. It was a matter of time.
And seasoned their chicken so they would love when our ancestors would cook them up. Nice battered pieces of fried chicken.
Yeah, and actually, allegedly, I don't know if you heard about the KFC story. Is I say allegedly because it's very hard to validate because of what's on government docs. So just because they filed it and they said that they owned it, that does not mean that they owned it. It just means that they were the ones who had certifiable documentation. So it's really difficult to prove it because that's what's on paperwork. But just because something is on paperwork don't mean you invented it. That just means that you was the one who was able to get to the filing process either first or the only one that was willing to validate. So what that is really iffy, but just knowing the history of how people moved back then, I don't really give any of them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to, you know, inventions, things made, even as far as not even just a black thing. These people were always stealing. People were always stealing. Always. Like hell, they even said white folks stole from white folks, Hispanics stole from Hispanics, Asians stole from Asians. Hey, it just is what it is. Whether it was gambling or whatever it was, people was always scamming, stealing, and swindling. Like that was the law of the land. People was just doing it. I ain't saying everybody, but I'm just saying people was taking things. Everybody was stealing. Like a lot of people wanted shine, they wanted money, they taking people out for insurance policies. People were grimy. I mean, very cutthroat. So I'm not even really gonna limit it to a black thing because white people were ripping each other off left and right too. So like I'm just adding that caveat just to give a little bit more real view of how people really moving out here. Don't you ever get a misconception that a thief only steals from one color of people. A thief don't steal from everybody. And as a caveat, I'm not saying they wasn't stealing from black people. They obviously were. Everybody knows that. That's not even a secret. You know what I'm saying? They stole from the natives. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of stealing going on. So Don't come over here in this comment section talk about, man, you just trying to just give him a pass. Like I ain't said nothing about no pass. I ain't giving nobody no pass. I'm just saying that people be stealing. That's what, and they grimy now. They may have been more grimy to black people and been able to get away with it a lot more than the other races of people. But people was grimy to each other when they was grimy. So even if we go as far as, let's just talk about New York. See, New York was built on gangster culture. You know, this is the part that people don't really want to talk about. People want to leave out. America was generally built amongst gangster culture. And a lot of America was built amongst foul behavior. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of it was. And if you got free time, I say touch up on your history. It's interesting. It's interesting to know about it. And it's not really more of a preachy kind of thing. It's just good to really know a lot of things that took place, to be informed, and to just kind of get a view of what things were like and what times were like. So a lot of times, the reason why I say this is because I see a lot of people today with all of this depression crap, all this soft ass crap they talking about today. And I get it, things are hard and things are rough, but just look back in history. I'm gonna tell you something. Look back in history. Like, I mean, you want to see tough? Look up the Great Depression. I mean, really see how people was really living out here. You know, when people say surviving, I mean really surviving. Not none of that. Oh, I'm surviving, getting by, and I'm still able to eat. I mean, borderline starvation, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it was real. Like, what we go through is real, but that was different real. And this is the difference that I'm gonna give you. There was not health codes and restrictions on things. I could just leave it at that. There was no safety restrictions at their jobs. So just to really put it into perspective, what kind of environment that was, and them machines were dangerous, all those safety guards and all that. Nah, bro, people was like losing fingers and stuff. So and had to go right back to work like nothing happened. So I'm just saying. So when I'm telling you to know your history, I'm not telling you, oh yeah, but just know the history of black people. No, I'm telling you, know history in general, including the history of what happened to black people. all of it. You need to know it. It's good to know it. Educate yourself.
So they love that shit. That's where soul food came from, the slavery days.
Which is true, because all they was left with was the worst of the worst parts of the animals. That's how they wound up with chitlins, which is pig intestines, pig feet, etc. You know how it goes. But, this conversation's been had 1,000 times, so there's no need to do all that. If you want to look more into it, feel free to do it on your own time. But if you kicked it with your boy this long, I appreciate you hanging with me. Links in the description below like always. And in the meanwhile, I'm out. Have a good one.